Welcome everyone to MJ Hobby Corner. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome new subscribers. Thank you for supporting the channel. And thank you very much to my patrons, to all my patrons. Thank you for your support. So a couple of things before I start on today's little topic. This isn't going to be a very long video. First and foremost, I just want to get out the way. We're having some boiler issues, and so this week I'm not going to post a lot. Plus, I'm also busy writing and doing other things with respect to Scratch Builder Monthly, and so with the boiler issues, that complicates things this week, so I'm not going to be posting a lot. I usually try to get at least 2 videos out for the week, okay? We do have a Stargrave game. Julie and I will be finishing that today, hopefully. And that Stargrave game will probably show up. First it shows up on Patreon, and then it'll come to the YouTube channel probably Friday night or Saturday, okay? Then we're playing Oathmark right after that. And those are the games that you guys voted for. And the polls. Those of you that voted, those are the games that are coming, okay? And in addition to that, I do have a couple of other games. I have a game of Anthems of War, which I will be doing, my very first game of Anthems of War. I really want to check that game out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, and the last news, Scratch Builder Monthly is on Wargames Vault. There is a more robust, slightly larger document. It's about 54 pages, and that's how Wargames Vault, and my Patreons will continue to receive there's a slimmer version of the document that is on Patreon, okay? And so that's for the tier 2 patrons. So that's it, and now let's talk about these Scratch builds. I've been working a lot more with cardboard lately, and you guys know that I do a lot of work with foam. A lot of my Scratch-built vehicles and such, they're all foam. So this year I decided that I would begin working with cardboard. And that's probably going to go well into next year. I've been doing quite a few projects. And here is a tank that I wanted to show. Okay, so how I built the tank is in Scratch Builder Monthly, both in my Wargames Vault version of Scratch Builder Monthly. I have a step-by-step how I build the tank out of cardboard. And I haven't quite finished painting yet. I want to do a couple of washes. I just washed the tracks, and I'm going to be doing some dry brushing on the tracks. And then this is an interesting build for sure. Okay, now this build, right next to it, this is my new walker. Okay, and I'm showing you the raw cardboard build. Okay, but this has a lot of detail. Notice the piston in the back. There's a piston here. There's some detail in between the legs there, which I will be painting. There's more detail in there to cover up that empty space. So there is a piston there. Nice piston on the legs, and then it has, you know, a little bit of a rotating gun. It has this bubble turret, which I decided to use a kind of World War II-ish bubble turret. I have to fix it a little bit. Have to fix the shape a little bit. And there's a bubble turret with an anti-aircraft weapon there, and then we have a couple of large weapons. This is a massive machine, depending on which scale I use, and some larger caliber weapons there, and then a machine gun on the rear. So this is basically a weapons platform. Okay, now I'm not finished yet. I have to add some more detail. I used sort of a World War II bomber detail, like a lot of the Henkels and some of the American aircraft. They use this kind of, you know, bubble canopy for the canopy. So that's what I used for a mech. Now, this is obviously a sort of World War II walker, like a diesel punk walker. And one of the things that I really like about cardboard, I'm going to fix this here. One of the things that I really like about cardboard is the sharper edges that you get, and also you don't get the fuzzy finish that you get with the foam builds. Okay, so I really like that about the cardboard. Now the cardboard is a lot more complicated. The mech, about 5-hour building time, okay, which is a lot more than anything I build with foam. So these require more patience, more time. I also use my tweezers a lot more because this build requires a lot of little pieces to add as detail for the guns, for the canopy, you know, so it definitely requires more time and effort, okay? But I'm happy with the outcome. I do like the outcome. Once you add all your details, and again, I'm not finished. I have to add a few more details and another piston over here. And I don't know, maybe I'll add a piston down here. And for the guns, I may magnetize them because I'd like to be able to remove the guns so that I can add different weapons. So if I want to add a flamer and a Tesla weapon or something, right, this would be a Weird War II kind of scratch built model. And I love using these kinds of things in my games. So with the scales, these are 15 millimeter. I haven't finished painting these. These are German troops, grenadiers. I have not finished painting these, and I gotta get off my butt and start painting these. If I use 15 millimeter, then of course this machine's gonna be massive. If I use 172 scale, and these are 172 scale U.S. Marines for Pacific theater, okay, but I could definitely use these in a European theater as well if I want to. These, I just found these, okay, and I have quite a few. I just found these guys. Let's see some goodies here. Might as well show some minis as well. So I haven't painted some of these. Some of these are still in their original color, okay, but some of these I've already painted. And again, I want to do a little bit different. I don't know, go back and touch these up a little bit. Here's a guy holding the radio, a corporal, and we have a guy with the Tommy gun. Could be a leader. This set also bought a nice mortar crew, okay. And then there's also, that's what I love about 172. Really, you can't go wrong with 172. All of these figures are in one box, okay? These weren't additional boxes. These are all in one box. We have a machine gun team there with the 50 caliber, and then the nice little belt of ammo, okay? These are really, really nice. And I think I have some German and British troops, which I have to pull out. Here's a bazooka. Okay, and these were from, I believe these were Italeri. Okay, my favorite company for 172 is Vezda, but I do buy Italeri as well, and I buy many different companies to try them out. Okay, everything I do like is Vezda. You know, these models were actually pretty clean in terms of you know, what you have to do to them. There wasn't much filing or cleaning of flash or anything else. They were pretty clean. A little bit of filing here and there, all right? So those are the 172 scale models. If I decide to use my troops in 172 scale, I have a beginning. And I am going to make some allied tanks and allied, and an allied walker as well. So I can have two little skirmish forces, and then I can use them in game. Now, for 172 scale, this tank would become more of a Hetzer size. The Hetzer was very small. It was a very effective anti-tank weapon, however, but it was a small tank, so it would be more in line with a Hetzer. And then, of course, this walker would be a little smaller. If I decide to use my 15 millimeter models, then this is going to be a hell of a machine. It's going to be a really big machine, okay? So really it depends on what I have available for my games, okay? So could decide on 15 millimeter, could decide on 1/72 scale. It's going to be small skirmish warbands anyway. So there we go. There's the cardboard walker, and I have to finish them up, get them painted, and then I have a tank support unit. And I will be building more vehicles. So before I finish this video, let me just show something that I use as reference material, right? It's always nice to go over these things for anyone that's that's interested in scratch building. All right, so I would like to present this book to you guys. This is by George Bradford. That's the author, and Stackpole Books is the publishing company. And I found this book at a local store. It's called Ollie's. It's here in the States. And it's basically a large department store. It sells, well, not a department store, but it is a large store. It sells a lot of very like low, inexpensive things you can get, like furniture. You can get all these different things, and it's usually, you know, cheaper stuff. It's not really a dollar store, but you can find a lot of inexpensive things. And one of the things is their books. They have a lot of books. And some of these books are used, etc., etc. So I found this book there. Now, this book is on Amazon. If I can find the details, I will post the link on Amazon. And I think he has more than one books describing like German armored vehicles and other countries as well. Okay, so the reason why I show this is that as reference material, this is a very interesting book. It's a very cool book. It has a lot of cool diagrams. You get diagrams from different angles of the vehicle, and that's very important. If you're scratch building models, this kind of stuff is very important, okay? A lot of the tanks, like this is a light tank, an M2A2, okay? And you can see kind of the details of the drawings, and it also has descriptions. It has some of a note on scale, okay, and it also has some of the history and all that of the vehicles, but it's mostly a lot of diagrams and drawings. So this is really, really useful when trying to make models, even if I'm making like alternate history models and I'm not really concentrating on making like historically accurate models. This is still a very useful book. It has some black and white photos. Here's a tank crew. Okay, the cool thing about this is that not only do I get all these cool diagrams to base my models on, but you also learn a lot. Learn a lot about the history of these vehicles. So scratch building, especially in this past year, has really taught me a lot. Okay, so I wanted to point this out because if you are a scratch builder or you're interested in getting into scratch building, reference material is very important. One other way that I use this is, let's say if I have plenty of diagrams here to work my details and stuff. Look at those diagrams. But I'll take the name of the vehicle if I'm interested in building something like this, and then I'll put it in Google and come up with a ton of photographs and can just look through those photographs. And in those photographs, we'll probably find other details that may be hidden because of the aspect of the drawing, right? So by looking at the photographs, I can say, oh, okay, that's the angle of that piece, you know? So, and I mean, you can find tons of photographs online. But I wanted to, this is very interesting, a basic diagram of all the different tank components, and it tells you what they are. So if you want to learn about armored vehicles or whatever, if you're looking into building some stuff, here you go. Here you go. These are the other books. The German early war armored fighting vehicles, which I think I'm going to be getting. I saw that on Amazon. And then Russian armored fighting vehicles. You have German late war, which I'm very interested in because I want to build a Stug very soon. And definitely, so there's 4 books out there. I'm going to be putting in the information for these. Here are like the ISBN numbers and everything. And this one cost me the much less. This was actually a used book. It was in the used book section, but it is in excellent condition. And I've already had this book a few years, okay? So this is in my gaming library as a model building reference book, okay? So I just wanted to show you this, guys. I think it's very, very important. And I'm going to start including this in my articles that I write for Scratch Builder Monthly. I will start including information like this, or on any videos that I do for scratch building, okay? That's very important because really with the reference material, I get ideas on, okay, this is how the original vehicle was, and if I want to change it to a more fictitious vehicle, I know exactly what to do, okay? So that's the point on showing you this book. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk to you guys about. Thank you very much for all your support. You will see more cardboard goodies coming up. I will be building more stuff and definitely going into all my usual things like spaceships and you know, we'll be looking at airships and all kinds of things, this time using cardboard. I want to do some comparisons with my older techniques, okay? So thank you very much, guys. You will see this guy painted once it's all finished. And we can move on and play some games, all right? So thank you for your support. And remember, Wargames Vault. I have my Scratch Builder Monthly. I'm going to be working on that more and more. And that's it. You can go check it out. All right, folks. Have a great one. We'll talk very soon and be safe.